friends, it is ONYX STORM release day. I am on my way to Target and Barnes & Noble because I want the Target exclusive edition. I also want the Barnes & Noble, well, I don't think they have a special edition, but I want the sprayed edges, okay? So we're going to both stores. My Target actually says on their app that they're sold out. So you know what, we're gonna pretend we didn't see that. We're gonna go in and hope for a miracle because like that's the only Target I have to do. Like that's the only Target I can go to. So we're gonna hope that's a lie because I live in a retirement area of Florida and I know these 60 and 70 year olds are not rushing to Target at 7 a.m. to buy ONYX STORM when it's like new release with like Target special edition. Like I know that's not the case, okay? So we're gonna pretend we didn't see that. We're gonna go check Target anyway. If not, because my Target says it's sold out of both editions of ONYX STORM, which seems very unlikely considering it is 8:30 on release day. So then we're gonna go check Barnes & Noble after. So that is the plan. I'm kind of in all black because I'm channeling my Violet Soaring Gale today. I'll even show you my leggings. They're like these Lululemon leggings that I thrifted and they have like these like scales on them. I'll show you, they're really cool. So we're channeling our Violet Soaring Gale today. I'm gonna go pick up ONYX STORM and then pretty much read the entire day until I can't read anymore. Here are my reptile leggings. Yeah, we're all in on ONYX STORM today. Maybe I'm dumb, but I thought it was gonna be so easy to go to Target and get this Target exclusive edition, but apparently no, it was sold out. They were sold out of everything. They only had one book left without sprayed edges, and apparently my Target only got 2 copies in. And then I looked at my app. I went to Barnes & Noble. I got a sprayed edge edition, so I did get that. I am super excited. I got this. Super happy. But then I wanted the Target edition, right? Because like I need 2 editions. So I go to another Target that's 30 minutes away from me because it says limited quantities available. I go to this Target 30 minutes away from me, and she's like, "No, we're sold out." I was like, "Oh." But you're the only Target that the app says it has in stock. And she's like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, the computer hasn't updated. Every single Target is sold out." Why did I think like I was just gonna walk in and get one? Like I just thought the Target exclusive edition was gonna be like one of those things like, oh, it's Target exclusive, but like they're gonna have multiple copies. Like we've seen Target exclusive editions before. They don't sell out in like 2 minutes. So my thoughts are they're gonna restock them. I don't think this is it for the Target exclusive edition. Maybe I'm being too hopeful, but I'm sorry. We live in a capitalist society. There's obviously demand for this. The publishers are gonna be like, no, we don't want money. They're gonna be like, oh my god, there's such a huge demand, let's restock these Target exclusive editions, because now they've created this scarcity mindset. So now when they restock them, we're all gonna flock to Target and buy them. So you know what? They're definitely restocking them because they want money. But I'm not complaining because I got ONYX STORM. I'm so excited. And thank god I went to Barnes & Noble when it opened because there was literally like me and like 10 other girls. And I think my Barnes & Noble had like 15 or 20 books or so. So like they were gonna be sold out very quickly. So I'm so happy I got to Barnes & Noble as soon as it opened. I am so excited to go inside and read this. I am not disappointed about the Target edition because you know what? What's meant to be will be, and I just have a feeling, I'm not stressed about it because I just have a feeling it's gonna come to me at some point in my life. So I'm gonna go inside. I'm gonna read this because I am super excited. Hopefully I haven't forgot too much. Hopefully this book is not confusing at all because I did not do a reread. And I will see you guys when I start reading with my first thoughts. And by the way, this is gonna be a spoiler-filled vlog, so there's that. Hello friends, it is the next day and let's talk about what I read in Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. I was hoping to have at least 50% of this book done yesterday, and I have been planning on reading this whole book since, you know, the release date came out. But you know what, as much as you can plan something, life will always get in the way. So unfortunately I was only able to get to page 100 yesterday, but not to fear because today I truly have the whole day to myself to read as much of this as possible, and I'm really hoping to just kind of binge the whole book today. But let's talk about why it took me so long. Some of it was just like life and dealing with, you know, personal things, but other things did actually pertain to this book. So I read the first 50 pages. I was getting really confused because I forgot kind of the names of the countries, all these different characters. So I was a little confused the first 50 pages, and now I am on page, I believe 111, which is the beginning of chapter 13. Yep, chapter 13, 111, and I'm not confused anymore. I get what's going on. I'm like, you know, my memory has been sped up, okay? I know what's going on. I'm not confused anymore. I'm really just super invested in the story. And also what's helping me is I need to write things down to really understand them. Honestly, this is why my TBR is mainly fantasy books, because while I love them, I don't breeze through them as much as I breeze through a contemporary. So I have literally been taking notes on ONYX Storm. Okay, I've been taking notes on everything that's been happening. I have been taking notes for next year, or I don't know if she's actually coming out with the next one next year because I heard she's taking a break. But the next time she releases a Fourth Wing book, one, I might do a reread before going into it, and two, I will have my notes. So I will be prepared even if I don't do a reread. I have notes for what happened in Iron Flame, in ONYX Storm. So you know what? Let's talk about how I'm feeling about the book so far. I'm obsessed. I love it. So again, I was a little confused first 50 pages, but even with my confusion, I was still very invested. And what I do like about this book, so again, this is a spoiler vlog. Fourth Wing is all about Violet, Xaden getting together, right? Iron Flame is them kind of like fighting because of the revelation that happens at the end of Fourth Wing, or will they, won't they, all these different things. And then we have the ending where Xaden turns into a Venom, and then we have ONYX Storm, okay? And what I love about this book is there's not that, at least so far, at least in the first 100 pages, there's not that will they, won't they, I'm bad, you need to stay away from me. There's not that, okay? They're just together and they're like, we're gonna figure this out. And I like that. So I'm really liking where their relationship is at 111 pages into the book. Also, this book is action-packed. Like, there is so much plot happening. Again, looking at my notes, there is so much freaking plot happening in this book right now. Like, we're 111 pages in and so much has happened. So this is definitely action-packed. It's very quick-paced. You get drawn right back into the story, right back into the world. You love these characters, and I'm just so excited to continue and see where this story takes us. I refuse to look at any reviews on Goodreads, okay? I marked it as I'm reading it, but I did not scroll down and look at reviews, which is hard for me. I did not scroll down because like I wanted to know 0 people's opinions. I'm not scrolling on TikTok. I want to know nothing about what the public is thinking about this book, okay? Because I don't want someone to be like, oh my god, like this crazy thing happened, like accidentally run across a spoiler, or a lot of people end up not liking it, and I'm like, oh, you know what? No, we're looking at nothing. So we're just gonna be fully surprised and fully have whatever my reaction is to it without public opinion swaying it. Because I have the day to myself, I will probably be giving more live reactions today, which I didn't do yesterday. So I'm gonna go read and I will update you when something crazy happens. Now comes the portion of this vlog where we are reading like we are on FaceTime. Okay, I'm on page 122 right now, and you're telling me in this war college of death, there's an actual war going on, there's enemies, they're making alliances with the people they thought they were enemies. What is going to break Xaden and Violet up is the fact that he's now a professor. And like now she's like, no, like we can't be together, you're my professor, like we have to break up. Wait, what? This is so unserious right now. Like what is going on? Granted, I have not finished the scene, but like so unserious. In a war college of death, him being your professor in a time of war is what breaks you up. Okay, so right now I'm at the end of chapter 17 of page 152, and I am getting back all the feels that I felt reading Fourth Wing for the first time. You know, they're in sparring class, Xaden's the professor, Halden shows up. Did we know that Violet's ex was Halden? Like, is this something I just forgot and now I'm like re-surprised and like, OMG, loving the drama? Or did we know this? Not really sure, but oh my god, the drama in this scene, the banter, I'm just obsessed. And then Xaden throwing him against the wall at the end, obsessed. So I'm getting back to those original Fourth Wing feelings and like giddiness and love for it. So I just finished chapter 19, and Aura, girl, what the fuck? Like what was that? What did you do? Like why were you on this mission? Who like told you to come on this mission? Like why were you cast for? Like I don't understand. Like you're supposed to be a dragon rider, and like at the first noise, like one noise, you're like, ooh, fire, let me like burn up the whole mission. Is she like secretly working for their side? Well, she's dead. But like, is she secretly working for somebody else? Like, what is going on? You killed somebody. You ruined the mission. And now though, thank God for Mira. Mira, she comes in clutch. She's like, you know what? I know this sucks, but I got the first and I got the stone. But the stone came with a note. Violet, just a reminder that while I want you to come of your own free will, I'm capable of taking you wherever I wish. Why do you not ask me for the answer you so desperately seek? T, which is Theophany. I think that's how you pronounce it. Which I'm biased to the name because as I mentioned before, I have a rabbit named Theo, so I'm kind of loving. Anyway, she knew we'd be there. Oh my god, chapter 19 was so good. So good. I'm really getting back into all the giddy feels that I felt during Fourth Wing. Iron Flame wasn't as special for me because honestly, by the time Iron Flame came out, I was slightly in a reading slumpish zone. Like it wasn't, you know, but right now I'm like fully back into reader mode, and this is just giving me the same feels as Fourth Wing, and I am loving it so much. Okay, I just had this quick thought. There is probably a sage or a maven that is like lurking around. Like we know there's a sage or a maven, which, okay, this is a spoiler vlog, so you know you've read this book, but if you haven't and you're just here for the vibes, a sage or a maven is a venin, but they're so high up that you can't like detect them, whereas like new venin they can sense and they can detect, but the older ones who've been venin for a while, you can't detect them, and they could also wield signets, so they could literally be anyone at Bags Gaiath. And it's like so one of the characters we probably know and love in this book is probably gonna be a sage or a maven, but like who is it? Something to think about. We have 527 pages in this book. I am at page 262, chapter 30. I am at the halfway point. And you know what, it takes me, and this isn't a complaint or anything because I'm loving the book and I'm like loving reading it, but like comparing this to me just reading a contemporary romance that I read before this, like it takes me such a short amount of time to fly through a thriller or contemporary romance. Like the page numbers, they fly by, but a fantasy novel, a romantasy novel, specifically this one, because I actually like genuinely care about the characters and the world, and I want, there's so much going on, there's so many characters, there's so much going on, there's so much plot to this book that like it takes me a while to read it, because like sometimes I'll reread pages or something, like 'cause I just need to know my notes, there's so many notes that I have been taking on this, and I'm only halfway through and I can't even imagine what is going to happen next because so much has already happened. So right now where I am, blue beyond the barriers where magic no longer exists, and this is their second time going there. So they went, they had the whole situation with the prince, with Halden or whatever. Now it's them flying back. Violet has already said we're defying orders, like we're not leaving the Isles until we figure out like we can find the 7th dragon breed. And then instead of taking Halden again, Eric came out and told Halden like, hey brother, hey, I'm alive, and he's like, what the fuck? And he's like, yeah, you're no longer going on this journey, I'm going on this journey. So they have just flown there, and now they're being approached by people on this island, whatever. So we'll see how it goes. I am halfway through and I just have so many questions. Like, are we gonna get a cure for Xaden in this book? How is that gonna pan out? Because I've actually been really loving their relationship throughout this whole book. Like, I love the banter between them. Like, everything has been so good. It's been very like, even though he has this thing going on, it's very low drama between them in this book. Like, you know what I mean? Because they're in these like life or death situations, it's still like, oh my god, I love you so much. Like, it's so like intense and fun, but there's like no drama between them, and I love it. I love that. Like, is he gonna find a cure? Are we gonna find Andarna's dragon breed in this book? Like, there's so many things that's like, what are we really gonna figure out by the end? That's what I'm excited to see. And also there is something weird with Violet having the gray silver hair or whatever. Because isn't that girl Theophina, whatever, the like a dark wielder, the venin girl, didn't she have like silver hair or gray hair or something? So like I feel like there has to be connection with like Violet and the venin somehow because of her hair color. But again, it is so action-packed. Like, even though I feel like it is kind of slow-paced when you really think about the questions that we have burning in our brain, like Xaden's cure and Andarna's dragon breed, and what is really going on with the dark wielders slash venin. Like, so those are like the 3 major things, at least that I think, right, that I want answers to. So it is very slow paced when it comes to like figuring out those questions, but like you don't even think about it because there's so much happening. Okay, so I just finished the chapter where they have dinner with Xaden's mom and Ferris on that isle, and what was that nonsense with Garrick and Riddick? Like, Rebecca, do not scare me like that. I would like to get through this book. Like, I don't know if it's possible based on reading the Dust Jacket, but I would like to get through this book without losing any characters that I love. Okay, like can we agree on that? Like, I don't need another Liam. I decided to take my reading outside, hence the beanie, because it is freezing in Florida. Okay, I've seen on TikTok that it's literally snowing in North Florida. Here it's like 54 degrees, but you know what, I swear in the breeze it feels colder. Okay, and 55 degrees in Florida is like, I don't know, like 30 degrees somewhere else because I am not used to this. And that noise is Storm jumping on the window saying, let me inside. Even though he's a husky, he should want to stay outside for this weather. I wish I had my camera for my reaction. I literally like jumped up, I was like, oh my God, the end of chapter 40. Okay, I was literally just saying, I was like, oh, are we gonna find the answers to like the 3 big questions, right? Like the 7th breed of dragon, Xaden's cure, and there was something else that I am now forgetting. Like what is going on? But we found them. We found the other dragons. Oh my God. I have to go get Storm before he rips my window screen. But we found them. We found the 7th dragon. Well, the 7th breed of dragons. So I'm actually really excited because I thought this was gonna be a cliffhanger. Like this storyline would become a cliffhanger. It is not. It is right here. And we still have like 200 pages to go. So I'm very excited to see how this plays out. I keep coming back inside to film clips because it's too noisy outside. But okay, so she's having her fight with Riddick right now because he found out that Xaden is Venom during the whole thing with Indarnis Khan, which by the way, they suck. She said blah, 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 blah. Where is it? Oh, would you channel to save him, or is that the line? Tell me why my first reaction was, yes, bitch, do it, turn into Venom, turn into... Is that toxic? I don't know, but like, I never even thought that was an option. Storm literally cannot handle being outside by himself. I never even thought that was an option. Yes, bitch, turn into a Venom. Do it for the love. Do it for the love. Do it for Xaden. He would do it for you. You do it for him. So there's... Thoughts are brewing in my head right now. We know there's a secret sage in the castle somewhere. Castle, War College. We know there's a secret sage in the War College somewhere. Maybe the Venom aren't bad after all. We don't really know. What do we know? Maybe they aren't bad because this book always wants to make you think one thing and then really another thing is true. So maybe the Venom are not the ultimate villain. Honestly, maybe Indarnis Khan are the ultimate villain because the way they treated her, and they're like, oh yeah, all you humans can die because you know, it's kind of your fault. And it's like, you are no better. You are no better. 200 pages left. Let's see if I can finish it tonight because I am just flying through it at this point. I have my first semi-negative thing to say about this book. I am at chapter 45, and do we really need another battle class where we're like practicing signettes? How do you pronounce it? Signettes? Do we assign yets? Right? S-I-N-G-N-E-T-S. I don't know. Okay, but do we really need another one of those classes where they're battling each other? Like, come on now. Like, we've been to this class so many times. Like, we're getting to the end. We're getting to the good stuff. Do we need it? I don't think so. I'm getting impatient, okay? I just want to get to the end. I want to get to the good stuff. I want to know what's going to happen. So let's get through this class quickly because let's get to the good stuff, okay? Okay, so I have 100 pages left of my book right now. I am at chapter 51, and we just figured out what Violet's second signette is, and I am so curious to see how this plays out. She has, she can like basically go into people's dreams, and she can experience them, whatever, and she like feels like they're their dreams, so she's a dream walker or whatever. And I'm just so excited to see like what, like, it says to me, it's like, okay, that's cool, but like what, like how can you utilize that? Like what good does that do for you? So I'm excited to see how it is utilized, like further in the book, further in the story, like what she does with it, like really what benefit that serves her. And Xaden's like, you literally cannot tell anybody because people can't shield against you because you go into their dreams while they're sleeping, so they can't shield against you, which means if people find out, they'll just like kill you. They'll just kill you. So that's crazy. That's crazy. I'm so close. I have 100 pages left. I'm feeling confident, dare I say, that I can finish this tonight. I have both dogs sleeping with me. Well, they kind of just woke up, but there they are. They've been so good while I read this book all day. So there's that. 100 pages left. Hopefully we'll see what craziness goes down in these last 100 pages. Hello friends, it is the next day. I finished ONYX Storm and I have notes, okay? Because I wanted to bullet point everything I want to go through for my final thoughts, and this is also going to be kind of more of a deep dive into the ending because I did not do my vlogging like I'm on FaceTime for the ending because, you know what? I finished the book at midnight. Starting with overall, well, I guess we could start with the ending. Okay, so Mira, her throat gets slit. And honestly, I was expecting a main character to die in this book just based on like what she said in her thing. I should hold up the book while I'm talking about it. Where she was like, but a storm is coming and not everyone can survive its wrath. I was like, oh my god, someone's dying. Who is dying? Like, and then there's like these minor characters that died throughout the book, which is actually one of my bullet points. Okay, the minor characters that died through the book, like someone had to die, someone's glad it's them and not the main people that I love. And then when Mira's throat was slit, I was like, you know what, I'm okay with this. You know, I love Mira, but if we're gonna lose a main character, like I'm okay with it, you know? But then the aftermath of it happens and I start feeling my tears welling up. I was like, oh my god, I didn't know I had this love for Mira. Like, what is going on? I was like, no, actually I'm really sad about this. So I am very happy that she survived, right? Because like, again, my thought was if a main character has to die, it could be her. You know what I mean? But like, let's not touch anybody else. Because I love the squad, right? We know they're not going to kill off Violet. We know they're not going to kill off Xaden. But like, Riddick, Sawyer, Rion, like, protect at all costs, okay? Xaden's friends, I'm more on the fence with. But like, Violet's friends, protect at all costs. Okay, and then out of nowhere, Andarna returns and Darna comes back. I need to know what happened when Andarna left, why she came back, like what is going on? Someone tell me. Violet's depression after Andarna leaves. I'm like, oh my god, Andarna girl, why did you do this? But like, I'm so happy she returned. Like I didn't have to stay mad at her for too long. Next we have Violet's battle with Theophany. Like that's her name, Theophany. Like I was like, ooh, I kind of like it because like Theo, my rabbit's name is Theo. But also that's just so not scary. Like Theophany, like that's how you pronounce it, right? Like PH is an F, so Theo, Theo, PHF, and then ANIE, Theophany. Like that is not menacing at all. That's not scary at all. Like her name threw me off. And also too, like I don't understand, like introduce her and just kill her. Like I wanted to know more about her. Like why did she want Violet? What was going on? Like I wanted Violet to kind of like talk to her, or like, you know, not to end in this like giant battle, right? Where she ends up like stabbing her with the stone thing and she dies. Like I needed to know, why are they so interested in Violet? Like what's going on? There's definitely something there that we don't know. And why is Violet not curious? She's like, oh, they just want me. Like let me kill them. Like don't you want to know why they want you? Are we not the least bit curious as to why? And then Theophany keeps sending her notes like all throughout the book being like, I have the one thing you really want. And Violet's like, well, what's that one thing? Like maybe she has a cure for Xaden. Maybe she has something. Like, I don't know. Like, why don't you engage a little bit, go to the dark side a little bit so we can see what's going on. I just love a character that turns to the dark side. And now getting to the very, very end, before I get into final thoughts, we have Xaden going to the dark side to save Seagal, and then him realizing like, okay, now I really have to go because I'm kind of too far gone at this point. So he gets the help of Imogen and the Dune priestess, and he marries Violet and gives her tyranny, what the frick is that called? It is called Tyrandor. Okay, so he gives her Tyrandor and has Imogen like erase her memory, so she has no memory of marrying Xaden or him leaving or anything, which I'm excited to see how that plays out in the next book. That to me, the ending was like, oh my god, like they're married. Like obviously I didn't predict that was going to happen, like the specific sequence of events that were going to happen, did not predict it, but I did predict that all these things were going to come to a head, right? Because the whole book, which I was commenting on, is Xaden and Violet are just kind of pretending like the Venom thing isn't happening, and they're like, we're gonna find a cure, everything's gonna be fine, and they're just acting like everything's fine and he was controlling himself, but something has to come to a head, right? Like we obviously knew eventually something was gonna have to happen with this plot line, so like it kind of made sense to me. Like I kind of had a feeling it was going to be something Xaden and Venom related at the very end, that he was gonna go too far or whatever, because it's obvious that we were not getting a cure in this book. Like everywhere Violet turned, it was like, no cure, no cure, no cure. He is stuck this way forever. So I kind of expected it to kind of come to a head and him to kind of go full dark side at some point. Not that he even really went full dark side. We don't really know what's going on with him. Oh, then I guess like I was a little confused by the ending. So somebody else turned into a Venom, but we don't know who it is. Did I comprehend that part right? Because I was reading really fast at that point, because I was like, oh my god, what is happening? Somebody comes up to Xaden, who is a mystery man. Like Xaden recognizes him, but we, the reader, don't know who it is yet. And Xaden's like, I never expected you to turn Venom or go to the dark side. So we're assuming that one of Xaden's guy friends has turned Venom. Ooh, what if it's Dane? Like I know, is it Dane? No, it couldn't be Dane. Is it Garrick? Garrick is missing. Could it be Bodhi? I don't know. Like, it could be one of Xaden's friends, but I'm thinking like the most shocking I feel would be Dane, because like Dane would never go to the dark side, or would he? I just feel like Violet and Xaden are endgames. Like, in my head, everything is gonna work out for them some way, somehow. It's just a matter of how does it work out, because like I know it will work out, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she literally will not make them endgame. Maybe Xaden will die. Maybe something will happen. I don't know. But I just feel like they're endgame. So it's not a matter of like, is Aiden gonna live? What's gonna happen? It's a matter of like, when and how does it happen? And now getting into like final thoughts. Honestly, this book is very plot heavy to distract you from like the lack of progress on things we really want to know. And then also, I didn't really think the payoff with Andarna's family was that great, because they're kind of assholes, right? You know, you expect to go there and save the day, and then they're just kind of like assholes, which I totally understand like why she did it that way, right? Because like, you're just kind of expecting it to go well, but what if it doesn't? What if it doesn't go well? Okay, and so like the payoff for that was like, okay, but you know what, glad they found them. And then Violet's second signet, we do learn it about it, but it kind of almost leaves you with like more questions, kind of like, okay, but what does this mean? Like, what can she do with this? How can we utilize this? What does this mean? And then with Xaden's cure, we really made absolutely no movement on it whatsoever. Anywhere Violet turned, it was like, yeah, sorry, there's no cure. There's no cure. Sorry, he's screwed, no cure. I think on the next book, we're gonna get answers on Andarna's dragon breed. Maybe we'll get more answers on, we'll obviously get answers on what happened with Xaden. I do hope he's in the book. In this book, we did get multi-POV at the very end, dual POV. In the next book, I think that'd be really cool, because if Xaden's gonna be on like this separate journey and he left, like we need to know what's going on with him. Like, I can't just read it from Violet's perspective and like we have no Xaden in the book. Like, we need Xaden in the books. I saw a rumor on TikTok that Rebecca Yarros isn't releasing the 4th book in the series until 2027. And people are like, was that confirmed anywhere? And they're like, well, it kind of just makes sense with the timeline right now. We're in 2025. Apparently she's taking a break from reading, and then she's gonna publish a contemporary novel, and then she has to start writing the other novel. Even when she's done writing, it's gonna have to go through editing and like all these different things, and like it's gonna be a while. Okay, so people are speculating a 2027 release date for the 4th book in the series, which is way too far away. I do not like that. ONYX Storm came out yesterday, okay? I'm not gonna get on here and be like, oh, I need the other one right now, even though I do need the other one like right now. That is all my thoughts and feelings. This vlog I feel like was chaotic, but that was my reading experience. But thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.